Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rising Stars. I'm your host Sean Watts. Today we have a very special guest. I have the absolute honor to presenting you guys Bruno. What's going on, man?
I'm good.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sean. Thanks to the whole team here.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man.
So good to be here.
Yeah.
So good to be here.
So right away I'm noticing from you, you have a very calm personality, very professional. Where's that come from? Is that just who you are as a person?
I guess it's fake it till you make it, right? So we're all stressed right now. It's situations, and
yeah.
I guess for me it's try, and I just keep trying to be as calm as I can. While interiorly it's not, but it's always working. It's convincing yourself that
I'm here,
you got
though.
this,
So you
and
got
you're in
this.
control.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it works for me. Yeah.
Good for you, man.
What's your secret to be?
I just got comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Experience.
So,
the first time that you do anything really, it's always nerve-wracking, especially if you're an overthinker like I am, or you're anxious, and it just takes time and just keep doing it, and eventually you feel extremely comfortable.
Yeah,
right?
and it's doing it, always getting out of your comfort zone, I'd say, and it's something I really enjoy doing, and it allowed me to be comfortable in the whole stress, and the whole uncertainty.
So like acting, for example.
For example, yeah, because from where I'm from, it's really the exact opposite, where it's business, and in business it's seriousness. It's being, you don't get to show a lot of emotions, or you don't get
heartless,
to... Heartless.
Let's just call it what it is.
Let's just call it like
man.
that. So it's really like fast-paced, and everyone's out for the numbers and all that, and it's really pragmatic. So acting for me was a way to get out of my comfort zone and try something else.
When did you start acting, though?
It was September 2022. So a little under 2 years.
So, but why acting, though? Out of anything you could do in the world, you chose, an amazing career, first of all. Because I love it. I'm weird and quirky, and
it would be weird if you wouldn't like the career.
Yeah,
as an actor.
And it's one of those things that's not for everybody, and you hear about that a lot. I
agree.
So, but why now in your life? Like, what changed with you? Was it just you woke up one day and you're like, I hate being heartless, and I want to show a little bit of vulnerability and versatility of who I am as a person? Is it like a personal release almost?
What a question.
Yeah.
What a question.
No pressure though. You can answer the...
I guess I'm really curious by nature, and it would be, I could say like it was a dream of mine when I was a child, but like I had so many. So it's not that. I just got to a point where I was like, everything's so good, but I feel like there could be more. And I think it was the emotion side of it, where I didn't allow myself to express my entire feelings completely. It got to a point where I had to do something. And, well, guess what? Acting is probably the best way for me to capitalize on that and do it. Yeah. And so I said, and I always like I said, to go out of my comfort zone. And I said, why not do it? And I just started putting myself out there. And I think I did like 70 auditions without getting any projects. And it was just, I was just having fun doing it. Yeah. And I just kept doing it over and over until I got something, but it wasn't the point, because the point for me was to really figure things out, figure my emotions.
Yeah, there's a lot of trial and error and trying to stay composed and grounded. And you know what I mean? It's like, perfect example of acting is like you and I when we're talking, we're just very grounded. That's perfect. If you can apply that to your characters when you're doing an audition.
Yeah.
And more times than not, you're going to book that audition.
Yeah, by being grounded and connected with the other person.
Exactly. And you got to be in that moment, and it's
I agree.
Something that becomes very natural. But for those that are inexperienced, they don't know how to access being grounded, or they overthink it. And you know what I mean? Then you get in your head, and then you start becoming ungrounded.
Totally.
Which is crazy. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, I really agree with you.
Like as soon as you hear the word acting, you're like, oh my God, now you need to be all like this. You just need to be you.
Yeah, and that's so important. The really it's just being yourself. Like anyone can be anything. So like might as well just be yourself in what you're doing. And that's how I see acting. It's it allows me to be really connected with me,
Yeah.
and in a way that allows me to connect with other people through me. That's the
Yeah,
main,
part
the
of
basis
yourself
of
and whatever else, or sometimes you're putting your entire self into the role, and it's
Yeah.
something beautiful or horrendous or scary or whatever it might be, man. I mean,
it. Who knows? Who knows? It's the fun that comes out
Yeah.
of it too.
what was that first role that you
Oh,
booked? Anyways,
it was so as you know, my first language is not English; it's French. 'Cause I'm
your
Quebecois.
accent's not that strong, though.
I've worked on it for
lot?
so long. Yeah,
Really?
a lot. Yeah.
How long?
Regular basis, I had classes with people where I was speaking like we're doing right now. Just basic,
Just real life
day-to-day-
conversation.
real life conversations, because neutralizing an accent, and that's helpful for any upcoming actors who are from Quebec and
Yeah.
want to know how I did it. I had a dialect coach which was good for the thought that I put into how could I transfer my accent. But what really helped is you got to connect to the words. Like
Yeah.
if I say mom, like that's not how I call my mom. I call my mom mama. So you have to have conversation with real English people
Yeah.
that allows you to connect with the language. So I did on a regular basis for at least a year, and that's how I ended up. I feel like it's pretty good. It's
I
not
think
on
it's
point.
pretty good.
But,
I'm noticing your speech pattern already. So if I were to act as you, I can figure it out. You know, it's you're pacing yourself,
Yeah,
but you're not
yeah.
thinking. So
Yeah.
which is good. So you're starting to
Yeah.
become very fluent. But it kind of breaks my heart to know that you're trying to get rid of your accent because
I
it
know,
is who you
I
are.
know,
And
I know.
I would have took the route of just learning an American accent.
What do you
and
think
switching.
about it? Like getting rid of
If
an accent?
I were in your situation, I would never want to get rid of who I am.
Yeah, but
Because it's personal, you know what I mean? It's who
is
I am,
who I
but
am the accent.
it's part of who you were because that's
I
part
guess.
of like your background. You know what I mean? That's
It is.
You
It
could
is.
have went the if you can go back, you'd go the way of just learning the American accent and switching in between after, and that's like there's the guy from The Walking Dead, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
He's from England, but then he puts on the American
Yep.
accent, but then he doesn't lose who he is as an individual person.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't lose who I am, and I think it made me more myself, because
Yeah.
our essence, our personality comes from more than just speaking English, French, or whatever. But
Of course,
I do
it's
agree
your-
on you that
Yeah.
I'm still kind of like, sometimes I wish I could go back to that
Yeah.
Quebec strong accent, which I'm so proud of.
Exactly,
But,
and it's a sense of pride thing. It's like
a
you
pride
need to
thing.
be
It's a pride thing.
extremely proud of who
Yeah.
you are as
Yeah.
an individual person.
I can tap back into it though. I can do it.
If there's like
I
a
can.
chick, if he has a girlfriend, but if there's like a girl, or like
Yeah,
just
I
be
can
a-
do it. I can
you know?
do it. I can do it. I learned it, so it's.
Remember,
it's
with
awesome.
great power comes great responsibility,
There you go. There
according
you
to
go.
Spider-Man. So
Yep.
use that power responsibly.
That's so good.
Let's get back on topic. So that first role.
Yeah,
that you
yeah. Sorry.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
What was it, man? Like.
It was the reason why I got to start about the whole English speaking thing is
Yeah.
it was a non-speaking role, which was so good because I didn't
Okay.
have to worry about the dialect, and it
So what
was,
was it, though? It
true
was-
crime series.
Cool. Yeah.
So it was a real story about how the man tried to fake a suicide. So he wanted to fake the suicide of his own wife, and I had to play the guy, which was really heavy and
Yeah.
was like, wow, that's what a set is. That's oh my god, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
really huge because it was a big production in Toronto, and
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I was blown away. It was 2 days, 12 hours shifts.
Yeah.
I was blown away, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like,
but it's so
all
much
right,
fun.
fun. It's
Like-
like this. Even if the scenes were intense, right afterwards we would have so much fun. Like it would
Yeah.
be incredible. And we've only met for like a day, but everyone was so tight, was so close, and we were all upbringing each other. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Like I find you don't have to act as much when you start being in these big productions because everything just feels so real already.
Yeah.
I find it's actually a lot easier when you
Easier.
do the bigger productions versus a non-union
Oh,
project where you have to
yeah.
use your imagination and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not up to par to what those higher
Yeah,
you know,
they're all doing
standards are. Like
Yeah.
it's so much harder doing these lower end projects, and then the higher end, it's so much easier.
and they're all doing
You know?
their job, which is making your job easier. Lighting is there to tell a story. Director's there to help you. Like everyone's helping.
Yeah.
So it's like trust them and just be there.
Yeah, because money is a big influence. So if you're not going to nail your parts, man, imagine how much it's going to cost production for another day of you being on set plus everyone else being involved.
I know. You got to be
pretty penny, man.
Yeah, you got to be able. Yeah. How was your first one? I'm curious.
My first one?
Yeah.
It was non-speaking as well. It was
for real.
Yeah, it was a college production. My very first non-union one. Yeah, it was a college production, and it was one of these ones where it was like a 3-minute short film, and I was playing a priest. Just had to mime out lines and this and that was it. Everything was sort of new, but it was like a handheld camera, and it was very amateurish.
Was it the one thing that did it confirm like your dream or like your intention of becoming an actor?
No, that never confirmed it. No. I think just me always loving TV shows and putting on the accents or mimicking the lines. Every time I would watch like a comedy movie with like Seth Rogen or James Franco, I would already have the lines memorized, and I would just start saying the lines and practicing it in their voices, right? So imitation and mimicking was like a big sign that I was like, I always wanted to do acting. It was just a matter of being like, okay, you know what? I want to pursue it.
I need some tips on memorizing lines.
Yeah. Just keep doing it, man.
Yeah, it's hard. But I saw a pattern where it gets easier and easier over the time.
It gets a lot easier.
Yeah, it does get a lot easier.
One of my friends, he's a celebrity actor, and he can look at the script once and he has it already memorized. Yeah, and I'm like, that's just like photographic memory or something.
At some point.
Yeah, because that's crazy, man.
Wow. Because a lot of our job is to memorize lines and analyzing the script, which is probably a lot more than people would think.
Well, the faster you can memorize your lines, the more you can play around with your character.
Exactly, because then you're not stuck into
I remember what you were doing, man, was I can memorize 10 or 11 pages in maybe an hour and a half.
Dialogue or monologue? Dialogue mostly.
If there's a monologue injected somewhere in there, it's going to be like an extra 20 minutes or whatever. But I remember being where you were, and it's stressful. Yeah. It is stressful to memorize your lines because you feel like you need to not just memorize it, but then you don't want to fumble, or if your mind's on autopilot when you're acting, your mind starts creating its own dialogue because of the language and terminology that you're used to. And it's a very foreign thing where a writer, they'll be like, okay, this is what your character's going to say versus how you actually deliver lines in real life or just say certain phrases. Yeah. So your mind starts confusing both.
Totally.
Right? So that's one of the biggest hurdles and challenges is allowing your mind to go on autopilot.
I agree, man.
When you deliver those lines, it's on autopilot, and that means you've memorized your lines forward, top to bottom, bottom to top.
Yeah.
And as fast as you can.
Is it an expression, bottom to top, or do you do it?
You do top to bottom, bottom to top.
Wow.
So when then you'd rehearse your lines in reverse, but just as quickly as from top to bottom. Right?
Might as well give it a try.
Well, that's a technique for you. So once you know your lines, you and your partner's lines and all the actions in between, and you start blurting out very quickly without even thinking, then you start from the bottom and you work your way to the top.
Nice.
And once you get that, awesome. And just keep reading your lines over and over and over again. That should help you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I like to go on a training too. Yeah. There's a certain app, Line Learner. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've heard of that, yeah.
So you record your own voice, you record the other people, you can change the voices so that you know which one is it. And I like to do that and go on a walk because I really like to walk, go on a run, go on a gym, anything. Yeah. As long as my body's physically moving, it's like I'm taking away all that physical blocking and I'm just doing something else, and my subconscious is just learning.
Good for you,
learning.
Yeah.
And I'm going right through it. And after a long while, I'm done. Like it's good. It's all right. Like I can I can actually react to it because I'm moving and I'm pushing weight or something. So it's like different scenarios, different perspectives, and it helps me a lot.
Does it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never used the app because I hate hearing my own voice.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can change it.
Yeah, I could change even my own voice. That's,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
what kind of
pretty cool.
voices can you do?
It's like
throughout that?
playing with the tones, you know.
Oh, yeah, so higher, lower.
higher, lower, yeah, frequencies, and I don't know all that stuff, but
Yeah.
you can slightly modify it.
Oh,
It's
really?
not really. Maybe they'll implement AI or some sort and really go further, but for now it's pretty limited.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if in the future they have like a Darth Vader voice or something. I'd be like,
Who knows?
"Sweet,
Yeah,
let's do it.
yeah, let's do this.
Yoda,
let's do this.
let's go,
That
right?
would be awesome. That would
Yeah.
be awesome. Al Pacino, let's go. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah,
Could you
yeah,
imagine? Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. So what training have you done?
I've mostly done private training, so I
Have you?
haven't attended any universities or like major.
No.
theaters
You don't have
programs.
to do universities or theater schools.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I agree with that. So I
No.
did private classes at LB Acting Studio in Toronto, which
Yeah.
was online. I did
Are you?
this.
So you did you live in Toronto by the sounds of
Never.
it?
I
Okay.
travel back and forth in my
Oh,
car.
really?
Yeah, I'm really dedicated. Once I commit
Yeah.
to something, there's no going back, and I'll do it 100%. So
Good for you.
yeah, and yeah, I'll be acting studios, which was virtual Path, which is a virtual class in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two mains that shaped me.
Yeah.
I'd say. And after Path, the whole class convinced me so much on how I'm the person I provide for my own self, and it's
Yeah.
always about finding the essential action in the script and finding an as if it was you,
Yeah.
and really committing to that. And for me, it worked a lot, and I'm happy about about what happens to me, about what came afterwards. And I'm working constantly, having projects, so I'm really confident on what I have. I'm always open to learning more, but for now, the schedule's too tight. The schedule
Yeah.
is extremely busy.
Confidence is key, though. I mean, that's.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
The casting director will sense right away when you enter a room if you're confident
Confidence.
or nervous
confidence.
or anxious or whatever.
Because
Right.
they don't want you to make them feel anxious or
Yeah.
nervous, because they're putting a lot of money, they're putting their trust, their career on the line sometimes, and they want someone that makes them feel confident. And the only way for you to do that is to actually believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not saying fake confidence and bravado
No.
and all that, but
It'll show
it'll
regardless on the camera.
But actually
right?
trust yourself and know yourself, and being to know what's your blind spots, and that people can tell. And,
Yeah.
I think being humble about it, and people are like, I want to work with this guy. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's your aura. You know what I mean?
Aura,
Like if you're gonna have that chemistry with a filmmaker, producer, they'll know right away. You know.
I
and
agree.
You
I
just
agree.
kind of go from there, right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like speed dating. when you
It
meet
is.
when you meet
It
an
is.
actor or an actress or like a director, pretty much within the first 5 minutes, you have a pretty good idea on
Pretty good idea.
who they are and whether it's going to be a match or not.
Yeah, we
Right.
all size people so quick.
Yeah.
So quick. So
Yeah.
I agree with that. And casting, like I've seen a platform where casting directors or agencies are like looking at hundreds of auditions, and it goes
Yeah.
by so fast.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like, you got to be yourself, and at some point it does a lot. It is a lot. Your essence, you can't change it. It's just out there, and
Yeah,
that
the aura.
I really trust it, and I really put emphasis on that.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it, man.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite role that you've done? Something where you're just like, man, I nailed that, or I loved it.
The one I did here, which was Thomas Cunningham, a lawyer.
Oh, yeah?
A huge.
Yeah, I can see you doing
an
that.
upcoming lawyer,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed it because
You got the real heartless vibe. So
yeah, and I'm like really into business full time, and I
Yeah.
liked it, entrepreneurship and growing stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
law is something that interests me a lot, but. And I had the opportunity to play that guy, and I was like, let's go all in. Let's
Nice.
go all in, give it all I have. And it felt so like, when you're totally connected with the character, and it's just,
Yeah.
it became you, or
Yeah.
you became him. At some point, I don't know what's the...
either or. I don't even know how
I
that
don't
works.
even know how to say
Yeah.
it, but it was flowing. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I had so much fun. And
Did you watch that show Suits to help sort of get you in the mood?
I
or
watched
no?
it before, so
Yeah.
even if I didn't watch it for the preparation, it did.
You already knew,
I
right?
already knew. So
Yeah.
of course it influenced me because like Harvey Specter and Mike Ross.
Which character influenced
Harvey
you the most?
Specter.
Really?
Yeah. The confidence of that guy.
Because he's the best.
He's in control.
He's the #1 closer in New York, man.
Yeah. So and the series is so good. So
Yeah.
a lot of influence coming from that. But I made it my home. I made it myself, and I
Nice.
think I was so myself. I was so connected with
Just
me.
your element, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
just-
that's why I thought it was the best. Yeah.
So what kind of lawyer were you playing in particular?
Can
Can you tell us or no?
Yeah. It was the young lawyer that think he's hot
Like,
shit.
yeah.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
And he won't stop at anything. He won't
So
take.
so sort of like Mike Ross,
Yeah.
right?
Like Mike Ross, but a little
But
less.
Harvey's
Harvey's
mentality?
mentality. Exactly. So he won't stop at nothing. He was all in.
Really?
In, and ready to burn the bridges.
Like
So-
like what sort of cases were you doing for that? Was it like
We weren't doing any law
okay.
stuff.
Okay.
It was more about there was a leak, and I was suspected of being the leak, and the whole firm turned against me, and that's when I was all right. I'm by myself, and I have to prove everyone else
Yeah.
that I didn't leak it, and so you could see how his emotional sides. His patterns on how he was able to be confident and trust himself, and the whole process of him being all by himself but still going forward was really
Wild.
good. Yeah,
Wild.
And
It's
I
like-
like that. I like that idea of no matter what's happening, it's just still going forward, and I really enjoyed it. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it because at the end you only have yourself. So like.
If it was in like the Suits verse, I'm sure you'd be against Louis Litt.
Oh, that's
I'm
good.
sure
That's
you'd be
good.
against
Yeah,
him, man,
yeah.
or Jessica or whatever. You know, I think Louis Litt though, 'cause
Yeah,
he's
Louis.
real, real tough.
Yeah, real
So,
tough.
hey, that's cool.
That's cool. And but then that show when we shot it like there's so much about acting that's not in it. It's a lot about like scheduling. I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
think about the scheduling side of your days or weeks?
I pretty much dedicate almost 100% of my time towards acting. So if I'm not acting, I'm still acting somehow. And that's because once upon a time, a girl broke my heart. And I've
Sorry for that.
been very repelled on even wanting to date. I'm like, you know what? I'm finding internal happiness from within. And that's through acting. And I've decided since that breakup, no interest in dating. If it happens, it's going to happen organically.
Nice.
I'll take that relationship with a stride, but until then, I'm
No
100%.
pushing it. And
Nope, exactly. Friend vibes, I'm happy with that. Awesome.
nice. And how are you? Is it your main source of income as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Because the way I'm doing it is because I'm a big believer in being financially stable to make great art. I think.
That comes with time,
Yeah.
so you can't rush that.
But at some point, it's like because acting is, from my perspective now, I'm not really far ahead or anything.
No, you're still
But
young.
it's
Still young actor.
it's not like it's all the time. You know, you could push as hard as you want, but it won't be pa 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 pa. Okay,
Well-
Sunday them.
Your agent's here, right? In Montreal?
What?
Your agent's in Montreal?
No.
Okay.
I don't have any agents yet.
Oh, you
I'm
don't?
still self-submitting.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
I'm
why.
pushing-
That's why.
Yeah. But even if I would have, I have a lot of friends that have, and they're not working. You know.
Well, that's the reason. Is because my agent, she's a top 5 agent in Canada, but she's in Toronto. So
Oh,
she
cool.
represents me worldwide.
Nice.
I've had auditions for a commercial where I have to go shoot in Bulgaria for 18 days, $77,000 payday.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I worked from how you were doing these non-paying jobs, and that's part of your journey is you have to put in the time.
Yeah, and I feel
Because
like
you're not going to get these $10,000 paydays or whatever
exactly,
right away.
and people listening to this, I feel, are probably at this situation where they are not making a full income out of acting.
I've been there,
and
done that, man. So
Everyone's been there.
Yeah,
done that.
yeah.
So the way I'm doing it is actually pursuing something that really interests me, because I don't want to do something that I'm not interested in, and having acting on the side, which is interesting. I want to have both things really. to make me feel like I have an impact on both and that I have a purpose. And so by doing both, I can use acting to better use my emotions and speaking capacity for business. And in my business side, I can use the relationship I had with people to apply in my acting and the characters. And I
then
thought,
you can also pretend, right? You can put on a certain face for this person that you're going to do business with, and
exactly,
it's like,
the
so yin and yang almost, right?
yeah. So it's really a good thing, and it allows me to go forward and not stress about like, am I gonna make it? Am I?
Yeah.
At some point,
it's not about making it. It's more
no,
about
it's
just
about
you
being.
doing it.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And so I have a great balance with these two, beside the scheduling.
Like, for example, if I gave you a situation where it's you just do acting for the rest of your life as a hobby, but you're an entrepreneur and you continue in that, would you be happy?
That's a great question.
Even if you didn't make it, quote unquote, make it, would you still be happy?
I'm happy as I am right now. So
there's no for the rest of your life.
There's no
would
destination.
You still be happy?
Yeah, the
like
part
no
where
pay, but you're still doing it.
Yeah, the part where I'm interested in is right now. The question I'm telling myself is what. Because, you know, as actor, we all get to make some difficult decision on like, oh, last minute you get a call and you have to go to a project. And it's like, I'll let some people down because it's last minute. So what do you do? You know, how do you do that?
I was in a situation where I realized working a professional job would never end up working, because eventually if you're called on set for a professional gig, they're going to fire you. And that's what sort of happened in my situation. Was I know I studied marketing, but they're not flexible. They're dream killers. They want you to sacrifice everything for
I would
that
have to
job.
disagree on that.
So for your situation, you've had positive experiences.
Yeah,
but
positive
for mine,
experience.
I didn't have that.
And
so
I'm the boss of my own businesses, so
that's why.
I can tell my partners, okay, so that's going to happen. So let's focus on how we're going to deal with this.
So your situation is very different
Really
from
different.
mine.
Really
because
different. But
I was working for somebody.
But still, I would really tell any upcoming actors to pursue something on the side that has purpose for them, because acting can be hard and challenging. So it's really important for them to
It could be
fulfilled.
5 years before you even start, or 10 years,
Exactly.
or 15, because everyone.
Or best case scenario, a
different.
year. But still, you have something. You got to have something to look forward to, because acting is so many variables and so many things you can't control. So
yeah, in Montreal, unfortunately it's very slow. It's not booming like Toronto or, you know, and that's why I picked another agent where they represent me worldwide, so I can get auditions in Japan, Bulgaria, LA,
Good for
Calgary,
you.
all that. But it's because I'm ambitious and I work for it.
How did you get the agent? I think a lot of people
I
would
applied.
You
I
applied?
was ambitious. I saw there were top 5, and I'm like, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you apply to all of the top 5s?
Yeah.
Nice. And did you had all of them?
2 out of 5 reached out.
Nice.
So I won in Vancouver, but I had to be relocated in Vancouver, and then the one in Toronto was like, you eventually have to relocate to Toronto.
Nice.
And then that's where I sort of was like, okay, I'm not gonna bother dating. I'm not gonna put just personally for me, I'm not gonna put my energy towards that. I'm gonna put it just 100% towards acting, and it's been very fulfilling.
Nice. And how's the relationship going with the agent? That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Very different, because I went from an agent here in Montreal to someone has a certain expectation, because their reputation's on the line. So it goes from sort of being like this real personal agent who's like, okay, they'll take care of you, to someone who's like, this is what I'm expecting from you. This is how your self-tapes are going to be. This is your backdrop, da-da-da. So it's just contrasting worlds completely. So it did take an adjustment period, but I had to adjust. Sink or swim. Do you want to be represented? Do you want to have these opportunities? Okay, this is
Let's go.
What you got to do. Exactly. So just contrasting worlds completely.
Nice. And so you had a demo reel, you had a lot of stuff on your resume to show them. That's
Lots
good.
of training.
That's good. Lots of training.
Very specific coaches that had me stand out. So
nice.
Yeah.
Because on my end, the reason why I don't have any agent yet is people are like, go have an agent. Go. I didn't. I didn't, because I'm waiting to have a solid demo reel, solid resume. I know it's at some point, if I wait, there's always better, and you'll get some more stuff. I know that, but I really want to get a hold of the mechanism that they are facing as agents, so that I can better understand their realities, and I can align myself with an agent that will really be connected with me. And if I don't know what they're doing, how can I help them? And how can they help me? So I have to do my part, which I'm doing right now. It's a lot of work, but I'm glad that I'm doing it, because I'll be more prepared the day comes. And I'll have some materials, like you're saying, demo reel, and really impactful stuff to show them. And
I remember, man, the first time I got my first agent, I didn't approach them. They approached me.
Cool.
So
cool.
Sometimes just let them come.
Let them come.
Why do you have to be so? No, people don't like desperation. Like, for example, if you're being desperate and trying to pursue a girl in a club, that's usually very repelling.
Won't happen.
As soon as you start having fun and enjoying time with your friends, suddenly they're like, he's not giving me attention. I exist, you know? And it's like, yeah, I know you do, but I'm busy with my boys, you know?
Cool, man.
So it's one of those things. Just don't even worry.
Was your agent referred to someone, by someone? It was just like she saw your stuff? How did it happen? How did she come to you?
Well, the one that happened here in Montreal, it was, I was performing in certain films, whatever, they saw it, and then they reached out, so.
Nice, that's cool.
So yeah,
Good
and
for
the one that's in Toronto, I
applied,
obviously,
applied.
So just enjoy your journey.
Nice.
It's so important.
Nice, man.
Enjoy your journey. Don't rush it. Why do you have to rush it? Your journey is your journey. Don't rush it. And you're already taking that approach.
Fun. Let's just have fun. Yeah.
Have fun. Let everything else fall into place. I'm gonna ask you one last question before we wrap up. It's already been half an hour.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, man. You and I, we get along. So
yeah, I mean, I'm here. I feel like I'm really enjoying the conversation.
What I would say is, for the last question, is what's your dream role? Could be anything. Could be superhero. Could be Marvel. Could be, I don't know, true crime. If you want to be a speaking role, detective. What's something cool that you want to do?
I'll have a cheap answer. Can I say 3? Because I have 3 different type of things.
All right. So let's do it.
One is one of these conversations you could get to tell yourself as a kid, or your kid as yourself, and kind of exploring that relationship, which we all have with ourselves.
Yeah.
That would really
1000%.
be insane. The other one would be an astronaut, because
that is random. All right.
Random, but the entire
so you're
concept
hop side to
of
side,
it. Pretending to. Yeah, but I feel like the whole process would be insane, and it would inspire so many people and so many great things and stuff to happen.
Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey, yeah. And the last one would be an historical person, someone that lived, and someone I can have data.
Marco. Hello.
Well, really someone I can learn about and explore and see how he made his things. And
nice.
That would be my...
Albert Einstein. You could play Nikola Tesla.
Probably.
Get the little mustache there.
Yeah, let's get a makeup artist here and we're good.
I'll do Albert Einstein.
Let's do it. All right.
Get all the hair.
All right.
All right, man. Well, that's it. That's going to be our show. It was an absolute pleasure having you. Thanks so much, bro. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Rising Stars. I'm your host, Sean Watt. Please subscribe, comment, anything that you guys liked about the show, any questions that you'd like to hear from our end. I'll catch you guys on another episode of Rising Stars.